Slaptail Squad, assemble.
If you are listening to this, you are a member of the Great Slaptail Nation, my nation. And who am I? I'm the Beaveman, master of the universe, creator of all things great and small, and Lord High Commander of the Great Slaptail Nation Army. And with me today, live from the Uniden, immediately sniffed through his nose. Do you know how many times I have to remove that when I edit? Not only does Ronz do that, yeah, you do that all the time. It's a totally different.
I'll try to stop breathing.
It's a totally different sound wave. No, you can breathe through your nose without going. It's a totally different sound wave when I edit. So there's two sound waves that I can. By the way, the Ronz is joining us. In case none of you knew.
Hey, B-Man, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. There's two different sound waves that I immediately recognize when I'm editing. One is Ron's going before he talks, and the other one, he hasn't even started talking yet. He goes. He does it all the time. It's very frequent. It happens all the time. Very, 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 very annoying. And with us today, live from the Uniden, is my ever sniffly number 2. Not sure why he's my number 2, but he is the Ronz.
Hey, Beaveman, how's it going?
Ronz, it's going well. How art thou?
Thou art okay. I've been to hell and came back, and it's been a pleasant trip.
Excellent. What have you been up to this week since we have not seen you? Did you have your anniversary this week?
It was actually yesterday, but I didn't do anything. We're going to do stuff this weekend. We'll have more time.
So, okay, we'll get back to that. Put a pin in that. It was Ron's anniversary yesterday, and they did nothing. Let's remember that.
We'll remember it. I know exactly where you're going with
Crucial
this.
to the story, Swan.
Crucial to the story.
Also with us today here in the Beaver Den is the Swan. Say hello, Swan.
Hello, Swan. Yay, crickets.
Nicely done, Swan. Why are you looking up, Jumanji? That is not a cricket in your home.
It could be.
Also with us today, live from Jack 'em Stab 'em in Battle Creek, the Cereal City, home of Tony the Tiger, and Snap, Crackle, and Pop is Jumanji. But the air is blowing. He's getting blown right now, is what he's telling me in the private chat. Right now, Jumanji is getting blown, so we're going to wait for him to stop getting blown, and then we'll introduce him. So who wants to take a crack at sounding like Jumanji when we introduce them? Ron, do you want to give it a stab? You want to stab at it?
I'll give it a try.
All right.
Okay.
Also with us today is our own personal pudding pop, Chocolate Jumanji, as depicted by the Rons.
Hey, B-Man, how's it going?
Wrong.
Oh, terrible.
Wrong. Can I do it?
Yes. Okay, let's try it again. Also with us today, live from Jack 'em Stab 'em, Battle Creek, home of Fruity Pebbles and Fred Flintstone, is our own personal pudding pop, Chocolate Jumanji.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Not bad, Swan.
Not bad at all.
Not at all.
I mean, you could have fooled me.
Jumanji, are you done getting blown?
I am. It was the air blowing from above me. That was the sound that was being picked up in the mic. So this time it was not Ron's.
Oh.
Hi-yo!
Nice.
That's kind of gross, though, Jumanji. You'd let Ronz blow you?
No.
That is what you just said. I feel like that's what he just said. He just
Taking
said.
it out of context.
Isn't that what you just said?
That is what he said.
Sometimes I don't like your wittiness. I don't like your quick. I don't like your comedian.
I see. You like when it comes against me or the swamp. When it's directed at you. I see how it goes.
All right, so here we go. Introduction.
You want your own introduction?
I do.
Okay. Also with us today, live from Jack 'em Stab 'em, home of Quaker Oats, our own personal pudding pop, special chocolate, Jumanji.
Good evening, B-Man.
Good evening, Jumanji.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Ronz.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And Swan.
Yes.
Sup.
All
right.
That word gets so overused and it's so meaningless.
Good evening.
No, sup.
What's wrong with that? That is a typical greeting. Sup? Sup?
Mhm.
What's wrong with that? I've used that for years, probably since I was 14.
Okay. Fair
Still
enough.
use it to this day. Has served me well without having to really engage in conversations. By the way, if I say that to you, what is the response that you should also say?
So
There you go.
Sup? Yeah, right back.
It
at
doesn't
you.
mean start telling me about your life because I don't really want to know. You're just supposed to also say, sup.
Yep.
Excellent. So, Ronz,
Yes.
your anniversary was yesterday. Can confirm?
Yeah. I can confirm that.
And
Or
you
deny it, depending on how you feel about it.
and how long have you been married now?
34 years, I do believe.
Why is that?
Well, because I can't find the fucking exit. No, I mean, you stay
Ooh.
together through
It's
thick
the
and
third
thin.
hole.
I mean,
It's the third hole.
it's the third hole. You stay together through thick and thin. You have your your trials and
Harsh.
errors and your times.
I feel like there was a veiled insult there.
Only on your part. But yeah, I mean, why do you and the Swan stick together? How did you guys make it work?
Does it? I don't know. Does it work, Swan?
Sometimes.
Nope.
Nope.
Rarely.
Barely.
Even if I take medicine, still doesn't work.
Hi-yo.
So you're saying you have to be medicated to be with the Jesus Christ. You and that fucking board of yours. So you're saying you have to be medicated to be around the Swan?
Yes. In general, to be around the
In
Swan.
general.
Has nothing to
And
do with
she's the
intercourse.
nicest person. She really is. She's the nicest person in the world sometimes.
Sure. Stop fucking with stuff over there, Swan. You're making noise.
Your dog. She's like trying to be part of the podcast.
Let's hot take from Sammy. Sammy, no, never mind. Okay, so if I remember correctly, during the last podcast,
Yes.
someone asked you if you wanted to do their open mic, but your excuse was
Mm-hmm.
it was your anniversary.
It was. It was.
But you said you did nothing. So you could have done
Well,
said open mic.
okay, so
and you
let's
could have
let's
brought-
define what you think is nothing, and that's what I'm playing on.
Well,
So
what did you do?
How's it?
So
You're the one
you're
who
the one
said
who
it.
said it. Yeah, you're the one who said you did nothing.
Yeah.
What did you do?
We went out for tacos.
Well, then you did something.
At the Y? Did you go out for tacos at the Y?
I did
the why.
indeed. I did indeed.
Even
I did
even
indeed.
Jumanji got that one.
More than one taco? Go,
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, good.
Go,
yeah.
Ronz. Good job, buddy. I don't know what to say there.
I feel like somebody should do a research study on that.
Yeah.
She's got more than one taco.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Oh, the Swan clued me in. There are 3 holes.
I didn't clue you in on that.
Well,
Anyway.
Anyway.
That's what you call it.
Happy anniversary, Ronz.
Yeah, happy
appreciate it.
anniversary.
Thank you.
34 years. That's a good portion of my life.
Aw.
It's a bad portion of Carrie's. Hi-yo!
there you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh,
I mean, it would make it really hard to get a divorce now since she has guardianship over you.
Yeah. But I'm a big person now. I can cross the street on my own. I know to look both ways.
You know, that's a good point, Swan. He probably actually doesn't have a night job. That's just when he has to spend the night at the old folks' home. And she goes and picks him up during the day.
That's probably true.
Supervised.
so he can get to that karate class in the morning after he gets off.
Oh, Jesus.
Is your AM karate class, is that before or after your open mic?
Yeah, before.
Ew, gross. So
Before.
you're all stinky and then you go do your
Well,
open mic?
yeah. You gotta go in smelling bad. Gotta go in there.
All right. Well, you did not do the open mic. Ronz, are you going to do an open mic at the same time?
Yeah,
you're coming to
and
Sometime,
actually,
same time? I'm talking.
honestly, I thought the
this
open
is something
mic.
that he can't do. He can't wait for somebody to finish speaking before he speaks. He has to talk over them. It just.
I'm
it
sorry.
kills
I
him.
thought your sentences were going to
It
be
kills
short.
him.
Like,
It kills him.
all right, fair enough. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ronz.
As I was completing my sentence, what I was going to say was, are you going to do an open mic? Is that going to happen about the same time when you come and do jujitsu? Since it's been over a year since you made that promise.
Oh, I can speak now. I
Yes,
thought you were
you
going to
can
like put
speak
up your
now.
hands or something.
Yeah, I finished the question.
Okay. I hadn't realized that you finished early. But you're used to that. Hey-oh!
Well, that I
This is
definitely
what happens when
I
you
was
get
waiting for
sleep.
that one.
that I
Okay.
definitely don't do, but that's fine.
Honestly, I thought the open mic was tonight.
Anyway, moving on.
But yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let's make a commitment.
It's not a
When's the
commitment to
next
me.
open mic?
It's not a commitment to me.
Last
I'm not going to set it
Wednesday,
up for you.
We're gonna talk about it right now, so it's
boy.
live and on.
Yeah, let's
Last
do it.
Wednesday of the month.
Oh, well, let's tell Matt right now. Matt, when you listen to this podcast on Sunday, just
So
to let
where's
you
it
know,
at?
just be quiet, Ron. The adults
Okay,
are talking.
okay.
The
Big
adults
people
are
are
talking.
talking.
The adults are talking. That's fantastic.
Jeez. Fuck's sake.
Fuck. Thank, please.
Jumanji, how do you feel about that accent that he just used? What do you have to say about that?
I was too busy laughing at your ass. You're on it today.
Last Wednesday of the month at Up and Under, Ronz would like to formally request a spot from Matt Hybels at Up and Under.
So that would be November 29th, Ron. To put that on your calendar.
It's probably his anniversary. Now, Ronz, no pressure.
Oh, no pressure. You've
No
already
pressure,
committed.
Ronz. You don't have to actually do it.
It's
but
out in the universe.
It is now in the news. Also, guess what? Else is out in the universe.
What?
Here's a hot update. Swan, would you like to tell Ronz about the offer?
I don't know what we're
Oh,
talking about.
fuck's sake,
My
Swan.
dementias. Which offer?
Let's talk about improv.
Oh. I'll let you tell.
What the fuck? I just said
He
fuck.
said you.
Okay,
I'm trying to
so
involve you
all
in this
right.
fucking podcast.
I just wanted you to yell at me. I missed it. I missed it.
Why don't you go ahead, Beaveman?
I know. Isn't that nice of me?
You're a fucking moron.
I know.
What is that? Stockholm syndrome? It's like
You're a
you identify with your Catholic
fucking
scout.
moron.
So,
So anyway, what's going on, please?
So, as we were talking about the last few podcasts ago, how you were looking at possibly taking improv classes and why you were interested.
there's. Oh, don't. You can't do that. You have to, like.
In the voice or not, I can't go back and forth.
I wish you would. It would make you more exciting. Then maybe my dick.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Then maybe my dick would get hard for once.
Not my problem.
Man, what did you have today?
This is how it is
my-
every day. This is what I live with.
Oh my god!
You get one
Yeah.
of those voice changers that you can use in the bedroom. I mean, they're portable and everything.
No, I wanted to go back and forth, Ron. I feel like the joke just went way over here. Anyway.
Anyway.
Ron, tell your
I
story.
got it.
Tell your
So-
story.
Yeah. So,
Don't say-
anyway.
I mean, it's a possibility.
You should write that one down, B-Man.
Okay, let me explain.
Yes.
Can I just take one moment?
Yes.
No, I'll put a pin in it. I'm putting a pin in it. I'm gonna pray
back
on
to
it.
that? You coming back to that?
I'm gonna pray on it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
I'm
anyway.
gonna pray on that.
Back to Ron's wanting to possibly take improv classes. We were given the opportunity for Ron's to be sponsored to take an improv class at the Crawlspace Theater.
I'm honored. Deeply, deeply fucking honored. Thank you.
Don't be.
So it's a big commitment, but it's a Ron's challenge and an offer for a scholarship for you.
A scholarship? Yeah. What's the time?
We'll get back to you on that.
Please
Probably
do.
when the next class starts. I'd have to look that up.
All right. Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's a possibility.
that is.
We did not commit you. We did not
No, I
commit you.
appreciate it. Thank
But
you.
we were in some talks.
Talks. I like that.
Okay. What was I going to pray on? Anybody? You want to know? Probably not important. Probably wasn't. Oh! Jumanji, when you say you should write that down because that's funny, there is a huge difference between doing stand-up and doing a podcast and being funny in the podcast. The reason we are funny together is because we're together. Just like having a conversation between your friends where you're cracking each other up. Doesn't mean one of your friends should get up and do stand-up.
Why not?
Oh my God.
Because
fucking
you
point
can
here.
work as a group off of each other doing a podcast. Stand up, you are up there by yourself trying to make things happen. Telling jokes, doing funny stories, whatever you're doing. It's a lot different being up there all by yourself and not being able to freeze. Where if we're all together, if one of us stutters or doesn't know what they're saying, the other person can jump in and help.
True. However, you're a storyteller with your jokes. And I felt like that was like one of the things that you can easily write around that idea.
You know, Jumanji, you're a good person.
Why?
Because you're his biggest
You're
fan.
my biggest
I
fan.
am. like I really think you can like write something else around that idea and like nail the joke. Like, yeah.
I wish I was as talented as Jumanji thinks I am.
So, like, give us an example. So, we're going to talk about what topic, and then he's going to make a joke with it right now.
About he wishing his wife would go back and forth.
And go.
That's the thing. I'm not a comedian.
Yeah, see how hard it is?
Fucking hard, ain't it?
I
Fucking
know.
hard, ain't it? Right.
Well,
I
you
want to think of something. I'm gonna pray on it.
Y'all pray on it?
you're gonna pray on it.
I'm gonna
yeah.
pray on it. That's supposed to be my new thing.
Yeah, that's your
I'm
new thing.
gonna pray on
You
it.
should. You very well should.
Now,
We
when
need to
you
put that
pray
on
on
a t-shirt.
well, if you pray on this, are you gonna use the Sister Bernice voice in your head?
It's Mother Bernice, motherfucker.
Jesus.
Well, you
Well,
know,
she's
hey,
someone's
what the fuck
sister.
do I know?
How did
What
you
the
know
fuck
that?
do I know?
But, I mean, if she's a mother...
Why is that? Whoa.
Well, I
Whoa,
guess
let's
not. I just
understand- Let's understand family
I
dynamics.
I just
So,
misspoke.
just because she's a mother, you assume that she's somebody's sister?
Maybe. Maybe she's an only child. I don't know. But I feel like Mother Bernice probably does have siblings.
A whole lot of them.
Why? Because
Thanks,
she's black?
Jumanji. Thanks. Yes. No. Because she's...
Yes.
Because she's black and because she's a church-going lady.
Her name is Bernice, so
And
you
she
know.
don't believe
That's
in
the
birth
only thing
control.
I get right is that name, Bernice.
Well, let's talk about obsessive behavior. Any of you guys have any fun obsessive behaviors? Or not so fun?
Fun?
Oh yeah,
Not so fun.
I've got a couple.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, Ron, tell us about your fun obsessive behaviors.
One of them is when I geocache. I go, one of my hobbies. I literally will hunt for this object, whatever it is, up until I can't hunt for it no more. I'm just obsessed with finding it. So I'm out in the middle of the woods looking for something, and I don't know what it looks like, but I will hunt it down
Until you can't find it.
until I can't find it. Exactly.
You're gonna keep
yeah.
hunting.
I will
You're
keep
gonna keep
finding
hunting
it.
until you can't find it.
Yep. So honestly, I'll give you some context behind this. It's when geocaching is basically a worldwide scavenger hunt. And you have to, you keep finding it. You got to find the object and whatever it is, no matter how big or small it is. But sometimes you just got to throw in the towel and say, you just can't find it anymore, or you never found it. So I will look obsessively for whatever I'm looking for
Until you can't find it.
until I can't find it, until I call it
keep
in.
looking
Uh-huh.
until you can't find it.
Until I
First you-
can't find it.
first it's up here.
Which is up there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So once again, I'm not entirely certain that you understood my question, because you just described the actual process of geocaching,
Yes,
which
I
is
did.
going to look for something.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was talking about was an obsessive behavior, like you have to sweep the floor all the time. The floor has to be cleaned up. Whereas you're talking about the actual activity, which is to go look for something obsessively. That is what geocaching is. It's to go look for stuff. So what of that was a funny obsessive behavior when the whole point of that is to go find something?
Well, some people just don't give up. They'll look for an object or whatever it may be until the sun goes down.
And then
So
you have to give up because it's
then-
dark.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, if you've got a flashlight, I've been known to keep looking. So I get
You'll
obsessed.
keep looking with
sometimes.
a what?
Flashlight.
A flashlight?
Flashlight?
Well, it does vibrate. No, a flashlight.
Okay, you got an expensive one from Amazon.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So,
There's colors too.
so Ronz, you said you had more than one. Let's see if the second one is a funny obsessive behavior. What's your other one? I know what it is. He's gonna say I practice karate.
No,
Yo, you're
When
right. You
I-
don't. Hi-yo!
Hiyo!
whatever that was. I basically have to listen to music when I drive. I have to have the radio on, or I have to have my phone Bluetoothed in. So I do not like driving in silence. It just drives me insane.
Okay. So another normal human behavior.
No, some people don't. Some people can just drive without background noise, and that's great. I mean, me, I just need that music going. I mean, it also helps me road rage when I need to.
Okay, well, let's move on then.
All right, fantastic.
Jumanji, do you have one? Do you have a funny obsessive behavior? I'm not sure Ronz knows what I mean by an obsessive. How about if I change the word, Ronz? What
Yeah,
if I
sure.
say compulsion? Does it make it easier if
Oh,
I say
sex. Then.
compulsion?
It's sex. It's sex.
Okay, moving back over to Jumanji, who has more than 2 brain cells. Jumanji, do you understand the question that I'm asking?
Yes, funny excessive behaviors, right?
Yeah.
So initially,
that you feel that you have to do.
So initially, when you sent that, I thought about the quote unquote rituals that my grandmother used to say that we had to do. Like a man need to walk in the house at the first of the year before a woman does, or you'll have bad luck.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Can't put your purse on the floor, or that means you broke. You always got to pour bleach in your dishwater for whatever reason. So I always do that. I always bake or cook black eyed peas on the first of the year. Like a lot of those things were things that my grandmother said you had to do for some reason, and I'm still doing them. But I don't really think it makes a difference on life, as they said it would. But
Well, what happens if you didn't do them then?
I don't know because I've never not done them.
Well, then how do you know it wouldn't make a difference?
I know, right?
Jumanji challenge.
Don't do it next.
Yeah,
January
Jumanji,
1st.
don't do it on January 1st.
January 1st. Not cooking black eyed peas.
So how do you have to go out and find a man to walk through your door the first of the year?
Hiyo.
No, it's just if a woman shows up, man, you tell them no, you can't come in
That probably happens to your house all the time.
all the time. No, you cannot come in.
No women allowed. If you don't have a
No.
dick, hit the bricks. Hey, I like that. Don't have a
You
dick,
really
hit the
struggled to
bricks.
make that, but you landed it. That's pretty good.
He said you struggled.
But you landed it. I'll give him that.
Roz.
Oh,
I
man.
am just gonna pay for hell.
Oh, Ronz.
How about you,
I still
Swan?
can't get over
go
Ron
ahead.
saying what did he say? I keep looking until I can't find it.
Yeah, I know. I said that. You're right.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
But
He
then
said
I
it more
keep
than one
looking.
time. Yeah, he said it more than one time. When I think
Yeah,
what he wanted to
absolutely
say
right.
was, I keep looking until I find it. But he kept saying, I can't find it. And you just kept asking him for clarification, but he just kept doing it.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, until he can't find it and gets exhausted and gives up, I guess.
So,
Yeah,
I guess
but-
yeah,
that makes us think
yeah.
that he never finds it. Ever. Yeah, he's probably never actually found anything geocaching.
Oh,
no,
poor
no.
Ronz.
No, I have found probably an estimated total of 450.
All lame shit.
Yeah,
This
probably.
folded up gum wrapper that's in the shape of a crane.
You ever find stuff, Ronz, and
Yeah.
think about it and go, is this really a geocache point, or did somebody just put their garbage here right next to the geocache point?
You know what? You're absolutely fucking right. You're absolutely right. And because there was one geocacher that would use trash items to hide his stuff in, right? He
What
made
an amazing sport. This should be an Olympic sport.
well, no, you make light of it, but it's true. I mean, I guess he was also a potter, ceramic maker, and he made a fake cigarette butt, right, and put it on the ground, and it had the log in there or something like that, so it looked like a piece of trash. Some of these guys are fucking inventive. Like,
And then their shit gets thrown out, and nobody can ever find their geocache because it really
sometimes
got
that
thrown
does
away.
happen. Yeah, sometimes that does happen. I mean, it drives me fucking insane. You look for almost an hour for this, and you realize that it's been thrown out by somebody, but they forgot to log it in.
But you keep looking.
Yeah, you're
Until
exactly
he can't
right.
Find it.
You're exactly right.
I can't.
That's okay.
Beaveman, what are some of your obsessions?
I would say my big one is cleanliness.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly it's with the floor, I think mostly. And here's the obsessive part of it. I will see something on the floor, and it's very obvious, like almost as big as, let's say, like a leaf will be on the floor. Now, the swan and the baby swan will walk by it all day long, and I have seen it immediately. Like the minute I get up, I see it. And I have to fight every urge not to pick it up because I want one of them to do it, but they'll never do it.
I feel like that's just a dick move on his part, don't you think? Like, intentionally just not pick it up.
Well, maybe he's trying to see how committed you are to being clean.
Yeah, but they will literally, I'm not kidding, they'll just keep walking by it. And then when I finally do pick it up, hours later, and I say to both of them, like, so you guys just didn't see this? And they'll both insist they didn't see it.
We're just not observant like you are.
It could be the size of a
I'm not-
Boston Terrier.
No, you're being...
And neither one of them will see it.
There'll be like a bug on the floor
I'm not
in the
kidding
spot
you.
that I'm not...
The size of a hernia.
I have a Boston
Wow.
hernia. I have tried, this is no lie, I did this same experiment with a Fruit Loop. I put it in a spot where the swan should see it and take care of it.
I don't eat fucking Fruit Loops, so clearly I didn't drop it there,
Okay, but
and
it's
I'm not
colorful.
gonna fucking pick it up.
It's fucking colorful. It was fucking obvious.
I don't even
and she
know.
did not-
Where was this Fruit Loop?
Shut the ever-loving fuck up so I can explain
How assy
what
you are?
was going on while Ronz drinks his generic pop that he made at home. Good job, Ronz. And is still out back.
Yeah, I did
That's
actually. I have
Pruno.
a soda stream.
That's
I do have a soda
Pruno.
stream.
Ugh.
You said he made a generic pop.
Yep. I have a soda stream.
Okay, too much.
Man, I have never seen Jumanji laugh his ass off so much.
At your expense.
At everybody's expense, actually. He's gonna pass
But
out.
mostly yours.
I'll take credit. Yeah, I'll take the credit. What the fuck?
Oh, B-man.
It's the only laughs Ronz is gonna get.
Yeah.
Ayo.
Jesus. Oh, fuck me.
Nope.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. No, gracias.
Oh, there we go.
All
There
right.
we go. There we go.
No, so back to the Fruit Loop story. Fruit Loop's very colorful, correct?
Yes.
So I took a Fruit Loop, I placed it strategically somewhere that Swan should see it, but she didn't. Didn't see it, didn't take care of it. So
Wait a
after,
minute. You bait and
will
trapped her?
you
Yes.
listen? I'm not fucking done. Oh my God, you guys are the worst. Let me try again. So I took a Fruit Loop, very colorful. I placed it somewhere that Swan should see it and take care of it, but she didn't. And so after 2 weeks, I finally washed it off my cock.
Ayo.
Don't mute yourself,
Jumanji's
Jumanji.
muted.
Why you gotta mute yourself, Jumanji? How are you gonna laugh at my punchline if you don't? If
I
you're
didn't
fucking
realize I had
muted?
muted again. Like, how can these jokes not be written into a set?
Because I don't do dirty jokes, Jumanji.
I mean, you probably could use that one and just make it a little cleaner. I mean, you don't have to say cock. You could just point to it or something.
Point to it.
You know, I-
Wee-wee.
No, you
Honestly,
could just.
I think honestly that's what's happened in a lot of our comedy these days. Is it's gone kind of clean. It gets away from that rawness of it. So when I see the Beaveman up on stage when he did his little friend joke, I thought that was great. Right at the Crawlspace, I thought that was great. I think we get away from that. I mean, sometimes there's a need for clean humor, but what about just fucking cutting loose, right? I mean, that's how we get rid of a lot of tension. I mean, tonight we've been cutting loose, and Tremonti has been just laughing his ass off, as so much I thought he was going to fucking pass out. I mean, it's just fantastic. And I think that's what's needed sometimes, is a dark sense of humor sometimes in this world, especially with all the bullshit that's been going on lately.
You can be
So, yeah.
dark, but not swear or be.
Yeah,
vulgar.
but
Yeah,
I'm not saying being vulgar. I'm not saying being vulgar at all, but throw a couple of fucks in there and everything. I mean, listen to the B-Man tonight. He's just going off, and I mean, it's fucking fantastic. You get to cut loose. I mean, instead of
Okay.
worrying about our audience, we're
one-
not
Okay,
worried
well,
about our
if you-
audience.
If you don't worry about your audience, Ronz,
Yeah.
you're not going to be funny to everybody. You're going
But,
to be funny to this much. That's what-
I understand what you're saying, Beav. I really do. However, when you started this podcast years ago, you said, fuck everybody else. I'm doing this for me. And that's
I
always
am.
stuck in my mind. You do this for you,
Right.
not for everybody else. And it's kind of evolved into everybody else. I get that. But there's that core belief that, fuck it, I'm just going to vent. I'm going to do this for me. And I think that's where a lot of the humor comes from. I mean, you look at Tremonti tonight. I mean, he's laughing.
I
with
already
the
said that.
smile.
We get your whole point, but the
Okay.
podcast is different than doing stand-up. I don't think the podcast
yeah.
has changed at all.
Oh, wait. He's got
Yes,
his hand up.
Jumanji.
Yes. The chair recognizes Jumanji.
Sexual chocolate.
That sounded,
Creepy when you
that
say
sounded
it.
so
that
gross.
was your impersonation of the B-Man. So, and B-Man, tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm thinking different. So I think as a comedian, the
Well, I'm
B-Man
not a
shows-
comedian. I'm a
I
guy
think
who
you're-
does comedy.
I think you're a comedian, aka a guy who does comedy.
Okay.
Ooh,
I-
I like that correlation.
As a person who does comedy, I think he has a different idea of who he is in that space. And so being in a space where we're at, in comedy, I feel like you need a balance of both. You need clean comedians and you need comedians who will go completely off. And when you don't have that balance, sometimes you might force somebody, such as the B-Man, to be somebody that he's not necessarily wanting to be in this space. But because there's no one else to kind of fulfill that, then Ronz, you're kind of looking for him to be that when he's like, no, that's not who I am. I'm this type of comic. We need to find somebody else to fill this other space and not put me in that space of saying, oh, I need to become.
Well, I'm not saying that at all, actually. I'm
Right.
saying that there is a need for it. I mean, every now and then just cut loose. Really. I mean, just-
Okay. So
let it go.
let me try to
Cut loose.
explain it again.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you're not getting it. If I am setting myself up to do comedy one way and I starkly change what I do, don't shake your head like that, Ron, because you don't understand. You think you do. You think you do, but you don't. You're going to go up and do an open mic and you're going to bomb so fucking hard and not understand why you did.
You're right. I am.
But what I'm telling you is if I've set myself up to be a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
to starkly change who I am and the way I've been setting myself up, that's kind of like that's me trying to change my character immediately when I just started out. My character can evolve, but it shouldn't starkly change from what I've already set it up to be. I'm playing
Okay.
a long game. Not that I ever think that I will be a true comedian, but if ever somebody said to me, hey, can you come do this show? I don't have to think about what kind of audience I'm going to go do the show for, because I can do any audience. Whereas somebody who says fuck, shit, damn, talks about their wet pussy and their dripping asshole and about sucking cock nonstop for freaking 15 minutes can't necessarily do that set everywhere they go. And that's going to be in the back of their head when they go. And if it's not in the back of their head, maybe it should be. But you can't go do a show every single place and think that you're going to do the same thing and not offend people. And you're there to entertain. I want to entertain myself, but I'm trying to entertain an audience. I'm not trying to offend them. I'm not trying to offend 50% of them and entertain 50% of them.
I understand what you're saying. I really do.
The podcast is different. The podcast, people choose to listen to our podcast. It's not like they went out with friends and their friends are like, hey, let's go check out this comedian that we know nothing about and we don't know how they're going to be. Or maybe we've seen this comedian and we like this comedian, but our friends haven't. And we don't realize our friends have no interest in that type of comedy.
So you can turn the podcast off if you don't like it. If you're at a show, you either have to leave or feel uncomfortable for an entire show that you may not know. So yeah, you're trying to appeal to the audience that would appeal to everybody no matter what.
So this means, Ronz,
Of course.
when you and the Beaveman are on the same, what do you call it?
Don't shake your head.
Or when
Don't
you do
shake
an
your
open
head.
mic? Are you're talking about when Ronz does an open mic?
When you are on the same open mic platform with the Beaveman.
From the Beaveman tonight, guys. I swear to God.
Beaveman gets to do the clean. You come with the dirty.
Okay, I can do that.
Well, or if that's what your set is going to be, like you just have to decide. Like you said, you're working on it and figuring it out. What kind of set you want to do? Is it gonna be clean, or is it gonna be dirty, or is it gonna be a mixture of both, or what's your like?
I respectfully decline to do a show with Ronz.
I've seen a mixture of both.
You what?
I've seen a mixture of both. I thought it was really good.
Okay, yeah, but again,
most comedians, or well, maybe some switch and do or they may have clean sets or not clean sets. But as you're coming and figuring out what you're gonna do, you have to pick what your genre is gonna be, or what your style is gonna be, right?
Yeah, it's not like I think it ever would happen, but let's say a convention came up to me and said, hey, we really want you at the show, Beaveman. We really want you to do this convention. It's more likely that I would get picked to do something like that as opposed to somebody who talks about their dripping asshole for 15 minutes.
Okay.
There's actually bookers out there that advertise clean comedians for events. They're like, need clean comedian for an event?
I just saw one, and I was going to talk to you about that later. It was a 3 women who are doing all clean comedy. And I was like, oh, that kind of is cool because, there's not a lot of women and then not a lot of all clean comedy. That kind of would be appealing maybe for people.
Yeah, and I totally think that people can do whatever comedy they want. I'm just saying that me personally, I'm not holding myself back. I'm looking at it as a challenge and also looking at a big picture. I mean, and first of all, people don't laugh at me anyway, so it's not like it's a big... They don't laugh at my shit anyway. But at least I'm trying to keep it semi-clean for that. I think that most people could listen to my comedy.
So, which is harder to write, clean or blue? I'll say
harder to write.
I mean, like, doesn't that depend on what you're going for as far as your style is and the way you think? Isn't that an individual thing?
Well, I understand what you're saying about that as well. However, keeping with what just the Beaveman said, I mean, yeah, okay. If you want, let's say I want to try clean.
I don't really want to spend like 30 minutes talking about comedy.
Right. But
I really
is it harder?
Are
you obsessed with it?
No, you've asked this question a shitload of times. It's the same answer.
Oh, okay.
The same answer is whatever you think.
Okay.
It is easier to, if you're bombing, it's easier to all of a sudden do a dick joke just to get a cheap laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that.
Oh, cool.
I already know I'm not going to get a laugh, so I'm not going to change up. I'm not going to change my character all of a sudden to do some joke just to get a laugh. That's not my character.
Just like they say in church, God's going to bless you to get a cheap amen.
Ooh, I like that.
Next
Yeah,
subject.
well,
Let's
because
put that on a
it's
t-shirt.
entertainment, right? That's what church is. It's entertainment. You start
It
losing the
is.
crowd, you gotta bring it back around somehow, right?
Can I get an amen?
Hey.
Amen. 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 You go, girl. You go. You do you.
Swan, do you have an obsessive funny behavior?
I'm pretty sure I probably do. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can rattle off all of them.
Is it your insistence on shit staining the toilet every time you
Yes,
take a
it
poop?
must be that.
Oh.
I work really hard at that. No,
Like-
when
like,
you
nope, that didn't work out. I didn't
When
leave a
you-
big old stain there. Let me grab this turd and rub it on the side.
yeah, with my bare hand.
Like old gloves.
Yeah,
She's got the
that's
shit
what
tongs.
I do.
Bust out the
That's
shit
what I
tongs.
do. I mean, don't you think
Patent
the
pending.
fact that I like my ears covered when I sleep is an obsessive thing?
No, does
Like-
no one understand what
So-
I'm saying? I know
Why-
it's behavior that's
why
a
do-
compulsion that's funny. You just think covering your ears is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause I
So why
need
do you
my
have
ears
to have your
covered when I
ears
sleep.
covered?
I don't like my ears to be cold when I sleep, or I don't like the air blowing on them, or the air from Beaveman's CPAP blowing on my ears, and I feel more comfortable when they're covered up. Probably my autism. I don't know. I like my ears covered.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So do you like
You
to
know
wear-
what?
What?
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I thought you liked to wear those big fuzzy like Princess Leia ear puff ear
No, I have a
covers.
sleepy time hat that I pull over my ears.
Okay. Awesome.
No, what are my obsessive behaviors?
Well, for sure, one of them is just obsessively shit staining the toilet, as I
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
You're serious, big man. You need to be in time.
I just do that
Or
so you can
tonight.
clean it up. You probably obsessively like to clean the toilet. So I'm doing you a favor.
No, I don't. No, this happens every time. Every time I hope that I'm not going to go in there after she's taking a shit.
I feel like we've talked about this
and yet,
a lot.
every time I'm
I'm just giving you
I'm going
content.
to give her the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, no, she won't have shit stained it this time. And I'll go in there and she sure as shit. It looks like a shit grenade went off.
What the hell are you eating?
I mean, I can't help it that I'm just more regular than you are, and
You're
yours
more
comes off
regular
like
than
a
I am.
little-
You're just a fucking beast. And here's the thing. I don't care if you shit stain the toilet, Swan. But instead of obsessively shit staining the toilet, how about obsessively cleaning up your shit stain so I don't have to see it? What is the draw for you to make me see your shit?
This right here. It's this right here.
I mean, it's bad enough that you'll have a little chunk of a floater in there, which happens periodically. I'm like, who doesn't look at the toilet after they flush the goddamn toilet?
Wow.
Is this something that we can just pray about?
I mean, you probably.
Can I get an amen from brother Jumanji? Can I get an amen? At least something from there, because we're going to be praying on this a hell of a lot.
I feel like you
So-
also obsessively leave your hair everywhere. And it's
Okay,
just-
how are
and
these
it's just that you
obsessively
can't-
things?
Well,
That you get that
Well,
you asked me to tell you instead of you telling us one of your funny compulsions, you said no. I'm sure you can tell me. So now that's
Yeah,
what I'm doing.
there we go. There we
I'm
go.
saying right now.
it's going to be pretty obvious, so I'll just throw it out there anyway. Obviously, it's not that compulsive that the Swan look at whatever she's done, but it's obviously that it's compulsive that you watch what she's done.
Yeah, see?
What
I'm
I
like-
said was I gave her the opportunity to say one of her funny compulsive behaviors.
How
And
about
instead, what she said was, "I'm sure you could tell some." I'm like, "Oh, you want to be a dick? Here you go. I'm gonna be a dick."
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Way to go.
So way to go, Swan.
I
Way
mean,
to
these
go.
are all things that you hate too. How I get out of the shower and flip my hair, and then the spray of my hair goes everywhere. That you don't like that either. So, you want to talk about that? Like when I flip it over to put my hair in a towel,
Yeah, I don't understand why you have to face me to flip your hair.
so that the splatter and spray.
And why do I want that?
I don't know.
I don't. That's why I keep telling you to stop doing it.
Okay, but how about the one that's cute? Like when I get out of the shower and I like shake my feet so that the water gets off.
I don't even know you do that.
You do.
Sure. Okay.
It's like in the movies when they like whip their hair down and the water comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Swan does it, half of her hair falls out. What's one? What?
Apparently, it's Bust on Me Day. So, apparently, one of your obsessions is Bust on Swan.
I gave you the chance to say your own thing. Oh, let's talk about contact lenses. Here's a
How
good
they're
one.
all over everywhere. Little dried up contact lenses. I
They're
put them in
everywhere.
random places just to see if he finds them. That's what I do obsessively.
We call that geocaching.
Yeah, see?
And it probably is the same level of garbage that you dig up.
Probably.
No, it's, you know what, Swan? If you were actually doing that, I would be impressed. If that was actually the
that's
case.
what I'm doing. Mm-hmm.
But I know that's not the case. And I find your contact lenses in the most bizarre places ever.
I don't know how. I'm pretty sure it's because your dog takes them out of the trash.
My dog takes a tiny single contact lens.
She might.
She
yeah.
takes it with her little claw and she grabs the
Yeah, her
contact lens
claws,
very
just claws.
carefully and she places it
It's probably.
throughout the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Also, I find them in the most bizarre places. I find them on the toilet. I find them on the floor. I've found them on like the refrigerator handle. I have found them. This is no lie. I have found them like out in the middle of the living room. I found them on the shower door. I find them. No, not on my pubes.
Jeez.
I find them in all these places, and then I tell Swan, I'm like, "Hey, your contact lens is there," and for one thing, she'll be like, "I can't see it. I don't even know how you could see that." I'm like, "Well, it's very obvious. It's a little blue tinted contact lens," and then I'll tell her where I found it, and she'll insist that it wasn't hers, and it wasn't her, and she didn't do that. She's like, "No, I know. I watched them fall in the garbage."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they just magically got out on their little contact lens feet
They did.
and walked on off and stuck to something else.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. How about when you don't even attempt to throw them away and you just keep a collection of them on your nightstand?
I do that. I'll admit. I mean, I can't take them out until I'm going to bed because then I won't be able to see. So
You literally can't see with them in.
exactly. So I put them on the nightstand. Yeah.
Okay.
I never knew you wore corrective lenses.
Yep.
Okay. So you put them on the nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Uh-huh.
Why are there multiple sets on the nightstand?
It's part of my collection.
Shouldn't you
I collect them.
If you put them on the nightstand at night, when you wake up in the morning, logically, you should probably pick those up and throw them away.
If I do that, then I can't strategically place them other places for you to find.
Okay, here's a little known fact about contact lenses.
Mm-hmm.
For the people who've never worn contacts or not been in a relationship with contacts, specifically with somebody who lets them sit around and dry out.
Mm-hmm.
When contact lenses dry out, they get very brittle. And they often, with just a little bit of pressure, fracture and little contact lens fragments go all over the place. Like a bunch of them. I also find those all over the place.
Excellent.
So
I'm gonna make a mosaic.
Seems like you should probably just throw the contact lenses away in the morning when you get up.
I'm bored of this conversation.
Well, I'm just trying to help you.
Thank
just
you.
trying to help you.
Thank you.
Do you feel like you've grown at all
No.
from this
Nope.
conversation?
No.
What other obsessive behaviors? Do you want to talk about yours now, or are you just going to keep?
I don't think I have any.
Here's a funny thing.
Well, as long as we find it
I
funny.
keep trying to let her do it.
I mean,
But
how
you know-
about the fact that I have chapstick everywhere? Like, is that an obsessive thing? I have like a
Sure.
chapstick. I have probably 10 of them in my desk right now because I always put them in every pocket. And then I make sure they're out of pockets because you can't wash chapstick. That's bad. But I probably have like 5 in my car. I don't know. So chapstick, that's my obsession.
Then why'd you take my chapstick?
Because I didn't have mine readily available at the time.
So you're going to give my chapstick back?
No. I did give your chapstick back.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
You did
did.
not kick batter back?
You gave it to me.
Yeah, because I assumed you would give it back.
That's not what you said. I said, do you want this chapstick? So sure.
I feel like it was implied, do you want to use this?
Nope, that's not what you said.
Hmm.
You opened me and you gave me a brand new one. So I assume
I
you
opened
gave
you.
it.
No, I sure did not.
You open the package for chapstick. And
I
you
didn't
gave
open
me-
my package either.
Maybe you should more, because clearly you got issues. Like pent up aggression going on over there.
Well, anyway, that's cool. It's cool. No, Swan, you can have that chapstick. I gave you that because I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, so, okay, your clean obsession. What else? What other kind of obsessions do you have?
I don't have any other. I think that is the overpowering one. It's not. I don't think it's really a clean.
But how
thing.
is
I think
that
it's
funny?
It's an orderly thing because of all the stuff that I do to see if you guys will pick it up. I do that all the time, but then I can't handle it anymore. And after like a couple hours, I'm like, I'm just gonna.
Well,
fucking
that
pick it
makes
up.
you a dick then. That's
No,
not an
because I
obsession.
wanna
It just
see
makes
if
you a
guys-
dick.
I don't place the stuff there. It comes off of you two fucktards.
Okay, who placed the fucking Fruit Loop there?
Swan, do you think I really had a Fruit Loop stuck to my dick for 2 weeks?
Maybe.
I take like 2 showers a day. Why would I have a Fruit Loop stuck? It was a joke, Swan. It didn't actually happen.
I know, I'm kidding.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Seriously? Are you really?
Yes.
Because obviously, if you're not being intimate with the Beaveman, you would have never saw that Fruit Loop.
That was the.
I feel like a Fruit Loop would probably disintegrate in 2 weeks if it was there. Just saying. But
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry they're insulting you like that, Beef Man.
Putting it on like a little inner
Yeah.
tube.
That's what it would look like.
A little inner tube.
This is what happened the other day, which I thought was really just bizarre. So I went and I was making the bed, and Swan has this stuffed animal that she sleeps with every night
it's a cat.
that her like boyfriend gave to her. And she's had it as long as I've known her. So I don't know how long she's actually had it.
A lot of years.
How long do you think you've had it?
25 years at least. I don't know.
This-
He's an old cat.
This is the ugliest, stinkiest,
It's not
no
stinky.
shape having stuffed animal. And here's the funny thing about it, and this is where my mind goes. Every time you throw that cat and it lands on its stomach, it looks like it's splayed out by like some freaking cockholster whore that just really wants it up the ass all the time. It just splays out like that. I'm like, look at this whorish stuffed animal.
You're so dumb.
Okay. All right.
So I have to reposition it so it doesn't look like a whore. Like, what's with this cat?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So you're looking at a stuffed animal like a sex toy.
Well, no, Ronz. I was not looking at it like it's a sex toy. It's an amazing leap that you took there.
Yes, it is. It is an amazing leap.
And
Almost like
why would you think that I was looking at it like it's a sex toy, Ronz? Why did you go there? Why would you think that?
just the way you said it was spread out like a whore.
So because I said that, you immediately think that I want to put my dick in this stuffed animal?
Well, if she didn't find the Fruit Loop, I mean, let's face it, sometimes a hole's a hole, right?
Man, I can't wait for him to do an open
Oh
mic.
boy. Oh boy.
We're going to be there cheering you on, Ron.
I can't wait. Oh, I'm
I
definitely
appreciate
gonna
it.
be
Get a
there.
lot of laughs for sure.
Yeah, but we're not going to be laughing out your material.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Don't worry about it. Nobody laughs at me anyway.
Back to the cat. I mean, it's the perfect stuffed animal. If you could find me
It's
another,
a whore.
if
It
you
looks
could
like a
find-
whore.
if you could find me another one, just
No.
in the same shape of it, I would get rid of the
I'm
old
gonna-
cat and I'd replace
So
it.
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
going to take a picture of it.
Yeah, put a picture of it online.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Ronz? That's not what I meant. I'm gonna throw it up on the bed, just let it naturally flop, and then I'm gonna take a picture of it for you guys. I'm like, look at this whore cat.
Have you ever like hid it from her?
I know, but this is what I do every
He throws it every night off the bed.
every night. Yeah, every night, and I make sure that it's really loud when it hits.
Because it has beans, like a beanbag
It's like
thing
it's
in
stuffed
it. It's
with
weighted.
sand.
It's weighted, and it's like it's shaped perfect. Like its little head tucks under, and then the legs, and like instead of, you know how like you like cuddle with something like a pillow when you're sleeping.
Fucking
It
cat's
fits
got mange.
Perfect. It fits perfect.
It's a mangy ass cat.
And then it has its little arms, and then I put little hair ties on its arms so
Little
that
whore arms.
its little whore arms, yeah. So it has
Wow.
a hair tie in its arm, so that if I ever need a hair tie, I got one right there. You know, it's like handy.
I've
Ooh.
never heard the Beaveman hate, or it sounds like he hates this stuffed animal
Oh,
so bad.
I hate this cat so much. Every night, and then it's always in my space.
And when I get up, I like tuck it under his arm, so he's like cuddling it.
That's not
So
what-
does
that's not
this
happening.
stuffed animal have a name?
No, it's just a cat.
It's whore cat.
Whore cat.
Whore cat. Everybody's had a ride. It's a town bicycle.
Yep.
Nasty.
You should bring Horcat to Pride next year.
I could
Just
bring
carry it
Yeah.
around. It's disgusting. It's stinky. You'd have to like,
Not.
you have to breathe it. Take it to a dry cleaner and get it fluffed and
No,
buffed.
no.
All right. Well,
Anyway, enough
anyway.
about my cat.
Anyway, it's about that time. Ron, do you have a
Yes.
question this week?
Actually, I had a couple. Now that I'm so obsessed with the Horcat now, I can't think of anything.
Sicko.
Yeah, that's nasty, Ron. He's like thinking about the whore cat.
That's a
Yeah, the
soundbite.
Horcat.
That's a soundbite.
I'm just so
That's always a
obsessed with the
soundbite.
whore cat now.
Yeah.
I can't,
So-
I can't think about anything other than putting the whore cat on my penis and sending
Well,
it
I
for a
didn't go
spin.
that route. No, I didn't go that route. So, are
No,
we gonna
don't
do?
ask. Yeah, I gotta do the. That's why I'm asking you. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, well then I will do the intro. No, it's about that time of the Slaptail Squad. We're the members of the Slaptail Squad, the cis members, and Ron's is questionable. Ask our own personal pudding pop, special chocolate, Jumanji, questions about being gay. I don't know if you
All
know
right.
that, but I wrote that last part.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So, Jumanji,
Yes.
would you say gays give better love advice than straight people?
Not necessarily.
Why so?
I mean, a lot goes into. I don't even know how to. Beaveman.
I can I have just a little an observation about Pride Side chat with Jumanji.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ronz, do
Yeah.
you know that you have never asked Jumanji an open-ended question? You only ever ask him one response questions. In other words, he can say yes, no, or maybe. You never ask him a question that he can actually expand upon. You only ask him yes or no questions. And this is why when you ask, he just like doesn't really engage with your question.
Well, he can expand on that if he wants to.
But make it easy for him by giving him an open-ended question instead of a closed-ended question.
B-man, let's quit fighting like parents and let the child answer for himself. I'm sorry. That was
I don't think
uncalled for.
Ron's understands what an open-ended question is. Maybe that's why he got defensive.
No. Go ahead.
The thing most often with Ron's question is that it's no different in a straight
Nope.
or heterosexual relationship as it is to a gay relationship, and they're often are being prepared. Like, is this different being gay than it is being straight? And most times, there's no difference. Like the maturity level, number of times a person been in a relationship, the experience they've had, like all those things matter in how a person shows up in a relationship, and that's no matter straight, gay, curious, or question. Like, so no is not really different.
So, if you were given a chance to give the B-man a hickey, where would you put it? See, that's not a yes, no, or maybe question. Now there we go. So,
Also, as a side note, gayhead is what Ronz from the Slaptail podcast wants Tremonde to give him.
oh, there we go. Shout out to JD.
Okay, so I think Ronz was just asking that question to show us that he knows what an open-ended question is. He doesn't necessarily want an answer to that question, right, Ronz?
He
Well,
want
that's
maybe
up to you. That's up to
No,
you whether
no,
you
no.
answer that or not. It doesn't bother me one way or another.
It should bother you, Ronz.
it could be he can insert either name in either place with that question.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me one way or another. Really. Honestly, I'm okay with that.
I am.
I am.
I am.
Okay. Was that was the extent of your question of our gay man, who is just a question that's really that you would address at anybody?
Can I take Ronz's question and make it like more cringy? Like, I'm gonna turn it into a Ronz typical.
It doesn't seem possible because the cringe factor from Ronz is already pretty high. But
There
yeah,
we
go ahead, give it a try.
Here's-
Swan. Give it a try.
Is a hickey being gay, like a hickey as a gay person? Is that like a status symbol, or is it any different than a hickey as a straight person?
A better question from Ronz would be: is a hickey from a gay person? Do you use the full mouth, or just like a small pucker? Because I feel like if with having like large cocks in your mouth all the time, you probably got to go full mouth on somebody.
Wow, you guys sound almost like me. That is just so fucking
Full
weird.
mouth.
Can you get like a Ronz sound thing?
Like
Sound bite?
He says so many fucked up things. What do you want me to have him say?
I don't know how the JJ works. Oh, there we go. There's that one.
Oh, a Ron's voice changer.
Yeah.
So we could all do cringy.
Oh,
Ron things. That would be great.
I got what you mean. Okay.
That would be dope.
That would be dope, though, huh?
It would be really cool to see Jumanji do Ron's voice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Try it now, Swan.
Try it now, Swan. No, that
Wow.
doesn't sound like Ron's at all.
That sounds creepy.
It fucking
that's what
does
Ron
sound
sounds like.
creepy.
Oh, creepy.
Okay, now try a typical Ron's jokes now, Swan. Typical Ron's question now, Swan.
I don't know if I can come up with anything, but if I were gay, I would wear unicorn shirts.
I wear unicorn shirts all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to be like you then.
Now that sounds like Ron's.
No, but that voice sounds really, really creepy. I like that.
You what?
Well, okay, so Halloween is coming up, and I like.
Oh, I got one. I got one. Are you ready?
Go back to voice settings.
Yeah,
now?
you got to go back to it.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
I'll
Tell me when I'm ready.
I'll let you know, Swan. Okay, go ahead.
With Halloween coming up, who gives out better candy?
Well, you guys just whip it into me. I guess it's just my turn.
I feel like gay people only give out ones with nuts if they're gay male.
Oh, wow, that's
Skittles. You're right, Swan. Taste the rainbow. There you
It's
go.
the rainbow.
That's definitely a seasonal joke.
No, that's not logical because if that were true, all the lesbians would give out tuna flavored candy.
Ew. No.
Those chips.
Yeah, chips.
The pussy chips.
That's
Don't give
definitely a
those out.
seasonal joke.
Do not give those out, people. That's wrong. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was fun.
Oh yeah,
It was.
Good time. Should we do like an open invitation, Swan?
Go ahead.
Nah, let's not do that.
Yeah, do it.
That's a bad idea.
No, do it. Just do it.
Nah, I changed my mind.
I want you to do it.
No, you don't even know what I was gonna say.
I know.
Oh wait, you do know. Here's another
No.
compulsion of Swans.
She answers for him because she knows what he's gonna say.
But she doesn't.
But she answers anyway, and sometimes her answers are great.
Swan, what was I gonna say then?
You were gonna do an open invitation to invite any of the comedians who want to be on our podcast to reach out to us, and
Okay.
no, was that it?
No.
Oh.
I love how
close.
you just kind of put that question out as a feeler. You're like, I'm getting closer. I thought you nailed it.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you read tarot cards too. Oops, I mean you just funded that, so Little Potter Donut probably learned all about that.
Whoa! Don't take the Beaveman stick coming after me. I mean, you're good, but you got to get better.
I'm not that good.
You're not.
He
That
prefers to get his beating from the Beaveman.
Anyway.
Horcat.
Anyway.
Horcat. I want that to be on a t-shirt.
Horcat.
Oh, we got new t-shirts coming.
Yeah.
Too bad you guys have to pay for them, so there, fuck you.
Yeah.
Hi-yo!
New t-shirts? Yeah.
I'm used to that.
You're used to that. I give you your
You gotta
t-shirt
pay
for
for
free.
it? No, you gotta pay for it, Jumanji?
The getting fucked part.
Oh.
Okay.
Sometimes you get the fucking, sometimes you're the given the fucking.
There you go.
All right. Well, I guess then it's time for me to shout out to my good buddy, JD Hutchins of the Monsters Lair. He will be releasing his final episode. Well, he already did his final episode of the season, but he always does a Halloween episode. And that will be released on midnight, October 31st. So take a listen to JD Hutchins of the Monsters Lair. Also, a good shout out to Skylar Creates on Twitch TV. And for our friends in the comedy community in Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, Lansing, Detroit, everywhere, and Chicago, everywhere. If you post a show and you want me to share it, I'll share it on our page, because that's how it's done. Get that promotion out there. Also, I would like to say that we've got a show coming up on November 11th, 2023 at the Crawlspace Comedy Theater. It is a Veterans Day show, and it is a showcase of all comedians of the armed forces. So that is going to be lots of fun. It should be hilarious, plus me. That's the caveat. Everybody else will be funny, and then there's me.
Right.
And in general, check out all the events at Crawlspace Comedy Theater in our favorite improv troupe, Crawlspace Eviction. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do, though? Next time we do a podcast, Swan.
What?
I'm going to check out all of our friends who are local people who do comedy /comedians/comics and try to promote at least one of the shows coming up for the week.
I think that's a great idea.
I think it is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do that. Why, Swan?
Because we love comedy and we want to support everybody in this business.
That's right.
And because we're the coolest.
We are the coolest. All right, and that's it for me, the Beaveman. Adios. Much fuckos.
Bye from the Swan.
Deuces.
And from the Ronz to everybody out there, we got your back. Call us if you need us. Get help if you want to talk. And stay sane, motherfuckers. It's crazy out there.
I don't even know what to say about that last part. I guess we got your back and Horcat's got your front.
There we go.